It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Matt Gaetz?
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. Elon's razor dictates that the most entertaining outcome is the most likely, and Donald Trump is, if anything, very entertaining. Donald Trump is inevitable. He will be your next president. Here's Donald Trump mogging Joe Biden in the White House today. Look at the expression on Biden's face versus Trump. Trump alpha Chad posture. Joe Biden cuckboy soy low T posture. It's just a perfect example of what's about to happen to America. We're done with this, and we're ready for some alpha Chad energy. And Donald Trump's decisions for who to staff his cabinet with have been alpha. Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon. Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. Potentially, we'll have Dan Bongino as the Director of the Secret Service. Man, it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be an amazing ride. It's going to be an administration staffed with people who don't give an F about being polite or wokeness or the systems. Ladies and gentlemen, what position will befall one of the most outspoken MAGA loyalists for President Trump, somebody who certainly has the ear of Donald Trump and also the trust of Donald Trump, the great Matt Gaetz of Florida? A reminder, by the way, of what Matt Gaetz thinks about leftism and wokeism.
To say that based off of your comments, you're suggesting that these women at these abortion rallies are ugly and overweight?
Yes.
What do you say to people who think that those comments are offensive?
Be offended.
An all-time great interview moment there, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone was waiting on who would be the Attorney General. This will obviously be a very important decision for President Trump. And Donald Trump just made sure that everyone knows that that guy that says, be offended when I call you an orc, he's going to be the next Attorney General. That guy. The most hated man in Washington, D.C. is going to be the next Attorney General. It's my great honor to announce that Matt Gaetz of Florida, hereby nominated to be Attorney General of the United States. Matt is a deeply gifted and tenacious attorney. Trained at William & Mary College of Law, distinguished himself in Congress through his focus on achieving desperately needed reforms of the Department of Justice. Few issues in America are more important than ending partisan weaponization of justice systems. Matt will end weaponized government, protect borders, and dismantle criminal organizations. Badly shattered faith and confidence in the Justice Department. On the House Judiciary Committee, which performs oversight of the DOJ, Matt played a key role in defeating the Russia collusion hoax and exposing alarming and systematic government corruption and weaponization. He's a champion for the Constitution and the rule of law. Matt Gaetz is your freaking Attorney General. The collective demonic scream that you're hearing right now from the direction of Washington, D.C. Is merited. Holy smokes, President Trump announces Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. Deep state criminals lawyer up. Let's effing go. The FBI and the DOJ previously tried to frame Matt Gaetz with the help of a con artist who was trying to extort Gaetz' family out of tens of millions of dollars. I can't think of a more perfect choice to tear the most corrupt agency on earth down to the studs. Bravo, President Trump. Matt Gaetz was seen today with President Trump, by the way, just in a clip here, walking into President Trump's meetings. We all said, wait a second, what's Gaetz doing there? See Gaetz right there. And now we know. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Gaetz has been an absolute monster when it comes to oversight of these federal bureaucracies. You presided over the FBI as it has the lowest level of trust in the FBI's history. Respectfully, Congressman, in your home state of Florida, the number of people applying to come work for us is up 100%. We're deeply proud of them, and they deserve better than you. Oh, baby. Matt Gaetz, an absolute bomb drop on the system. Listen to this. Trump's Attorney General Matt Gaetz. Grab some popcorn.
Every time I turn around, they're engaged in surveillance or list building or monitoring, and I don't care if it takes every second of our time and every ounce of our energy. We either get this government back on our side or we defund and get rid of, abolish the FBI, CDC, ATF, DOJ, every last one of them, if they do not come to heel.
Wait a second. So Matt Gaetz is saying, I'm going to abolish the DOJ. This is Attorney General. He'd be in charge of the DOJ. My DC sources are telling me Washington insiders are losing their S over Matt Gaetz' nomination. This is absolutely beautiful. Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. It's just glorious to see. Here's how Fox News covered it with shock and gasp.
All right, we've got another Trump appointment, and this is one that is probably going to surprise a lot of people because he was not on any of the lists that were floating around out there. And there had been some discussion that President-elect Trump was having a little trouble making this final decision, or maybe this is the person he had in mind all along. But he has now nominated Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz as Attorney General of the United States. He just wrote this on Truth Social. Quote, Matt is a deeply gifted and tenacious attorney trained at William and Mary College of Law.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, no one was expecting it. I got to tell you, though, we had Mike Davis on earlier in the week, and he said expect a shock decision at his House service. As his House service proves, says Mike Davis, Matt Gaetz is bold and fearless. The next Attorney General must clean house and hold accountable those responsible for political weaponization in law enforcement. Matt Gaetz has the backbone to do it. The DOJ almost ruined Matt Gaetz' life over fake accusations. Now he will fix it to make sure it never happens again. Matt Gaetz had a whistleblower come after his family. Turns out they were extorted. This guy was like working with and for the FBI. It was so shady. It was so disgusting. The FBI tried to bankrupt Matt Gaetz' family, tried to throw them in prison. It was all a lie in the end. It turns out that they were trying to extort Matt's family and get money from them. It was all like a shakedown, like a mafia shakedown. It's just despicable. Rubio, Tulsi, Gaetz truly doesn't get any better than this. Team America, says Stephen Miller, who's Deputy Chief of Staff. The bomb shells are going off all across the internet. Happy for my friend Matt Gaetz. He's a fighter, and he's exactly what we need, says Anna Paulina Luna. Charlie Kirk posted an old video of him driving, Matt Gaetz driving him in a car. Senator Chuck Grassley, upon hearing news of Matt Gaetz would be Trump's Attorney General, was exasperated and just stood there stone-faced for 30 seconds. Yes, Lauren Boebert, we've stood together, we fought together, we've won together, so proud of the next Attorney General, Matt Gaetz. Some people are complaining about Matt Gaetz, says Jesse Kelly. While I understand the criticisms, please know that we need disruptors now. Not polite people. We need people who are going to go in and make bad people feel uncomfortable. If he can get confirmed, I love it. Turn that dog loose. Matt Gaetz will be the Attorney General for the people, not for powerful elites in Washington. Matt will get rid of the political persecutions and corruption. Washington types won't be happy, and that only means common sense is back. This is what America voted for. This is a landslide mandate. Yeah, baby. It's happening. Matt Gaetz' wife, Attorney General, will look great on you, says Ginger Gaetz is her name. I cannot love this enough, says Julie Kelly. Amazing. Matt Gaetz is one of the few people that really, truly, rightly did stand with J6ers, attack the deep state with extreme regularity, and made some just unbelievable viral moments. Senator Coons, on Gaetz being nominated for AG, you can record me as speechless. That's what they were when Matt Gaetz was questioning deep staters inside of the halls of Congress.
So where is it? The laptop.
Sir, I'm not here to talk about the laptop. I'm here to talk about the FBI cyber program.
You are the assistant director of FBI cyber. I want to know where Hunter Biden's laptop is. Where is it?
Sir, I don't know that answer.
That is astonishing to me. Has FBI cyber assessed whether or not Hunter Biden's laptop could be a point of vulnerability, allowing America's enemies to hurt our country?
Sir, the FBI cyber program is based off of what's codified in Title 18, Title 18, Section 1030, a code which talks about computer intrusions, right, using nefarious intent network.
But you've talked about passwords here. I mean, Hunter Biden's password on his laptop was Hunter02. He drops it off at a repair store. I'm holding the receipt from Max Computer Repair, where in December 2019, they turned over this laptop to the FBI. And what now you're telling me right here is that as the assistant director of FBI cyber, you don't know where this is after it was turned over to you 3 years ago.
Yes, sir, that's an accurate statement.
How are Americans supposed to trust that you can protect us from the next colonial pipeline if it seems that you can't locate a laptop that was given to you 3 years ago from the first family, potentially creating vulnerabilities for our country?
Sir, it's not in the purview of my investigative responsibilities.
But that is shocking that you wouldn't, as the Assistant Director of Cyber, know whether or not there are international business deals, kickbacks, shakedowns that are on this laptop that would make the first family suspect to some sort of compromise. Mr. Assistant Director, have you assessed whether or not the first family is compromised as a result of the Hunter Biden laptop?
Sir, as a representative of the FBI cyber program, it is not in the realm of my responsibilities to deal with the questions that you're asking me.
Has anyone at FBI cyber been asked to make assessments whether or not the laptop creates a point of vulnerability?
Sir, we have multiple lines of investigative responsibility in the FBI. They're all available in public source.
Well, I would think you'd know this one. I mean, I would think that if the president's son, who does international business deals, referencing the now president with the Chinese, with Ukrainians, I mean, have you assessed whether or not the Hunter Biden laptop gives Russia the ability to harm our country?
Sir, again, we can do this back and forth for the next couple of minutes. I don't have any information about the Hunter Biden laptop or the
But should you? I mean, you're the Assistant Director of FBI Cyber.
By the block and line chart, no, sir, I should not.
Who should we put in that chair to ask questions about this laptop that FBI has had for 3 years?
Sir, I'm not in a position to make a recommendation who should say.
So you don't have it, you don't know who has it, you don't know where it is, you're the Assistant Director. You know, earlier you talked about whether or not you were the Grant Hill or the Christian Laettner. It sounds like you're the Chris Webber trying to call a timeout when you don't have one. So I mean, who is it? Do you even know who has it? Do you know who we should put in that chair to ask these questions to?
No, sir, I don't know who has it.
Well, could you find out and tell us? You're going to have to give us briefings, thanks to Mr. Liu and Mr. Massey's question about whether or not the FBI was taking a $5 million test drive on the Pegasus system that was being used to target people in politics, people in government, people in the media, people in American life. So will you commit to give us a briefing as the Assistant Director of FBI Cyber as to where the laptop is, whether or not it's a point of vulnerability, whether or not the American people should wonder whether or not the first family is compromised?
Sir, I'd be happy to take your request back to our office.
Gosh, I mean, will you advocate for that briefing? As in, you will?
I will be happy to take your request back to FBI headquarters.
Well, do you believe that that is a briefing that the Congress is worthy of having, I guess?
Sir, I'm not going to answer that question. Right? I'm here to talk. The invitation, sir, the invitation says oversight of the FBI cyber division. It does not say anything.
Well, right, but I mean, this is a cyber asset. This is a point of vulnerability. If there are passwords, if there are business deals, if there are references to things that could harm our country, like you can't even sit here right now and say that you know that there's not a point of vulnerability. Maybe there are other crimes, maybe there are tax issues or whatever, but as it relates to our, I mean, is the first family sufficient cyber infrastructure to protect? You don't even know if they're compromised. Tell you what, Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record of this committee the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, which I'm in possession of.
I'm not.
There's no objection to that.
So I can't say no objection.
I've never had.
I will object pending further investigation.
And what's the basis of that objection?
It's a unanimous consent request, and I object pending.
Very well, I have a subsequent question. Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the receipt.
It may very well be
from the Mac shop.
It may very well be entered into the record after we look at it further.
Very well, Mr. Chairman, I have a subsequent unanimous consent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the receipt from the Department of
Mr.
Justice
Chairman, this is
to
Ms.
the
Deming.
Mac shop.
Am I next, or am I next?
Without objection,